Tonight, I want to tell you a true story. It's about a boy who saw the entire universe hidden inside of numbers, a boy who found a special kind of magic in mathematics. So let's settle in for this incredible tale.
So, our story is all about a young man named Srinivasa Ramanujan. And to really understand him, you have to start right here, with this idea. For him, math wasn't just about homework or solving problems. It was his way of listening to the universe, a way of understanding the divine.
In this connection he felt, it started really, really early on. So like all great stories, let's go right back to the very beginning, with a truly remarkable child.
Okay, so picture this. Our journey takes us to a small town in southern India called Kumbakonam. Imagine the warm air, the smell of spices, and just the lively sounds of a community. It's right here, in this humble place, that our story's hero was born.
Now, while all the other kids were outside playing games in the street, Ramanujan was busy with a different kind of magic. See, numbers weren't just symbols on a page to him. They were his companions, his friends. He saw patterns and a kind of beauty in them that pretty much nobody else could.
I mean, his mind was just extraordinary. By the time he was only 11 years old, he had completely mastered all the mathematics that was being taught to the local college students. And get this, paper was a luxury his family couldn't really afford. So he would do all his work on this heavy stone slate, scribbling away furiously, and sometimes even using his elbow to wipe it clean just to make room for the next idea.
But how did he explain his own genius? Well, Ramanujan didn't take the credit for himself. He truly believed that the goddess Namagiri whispered these beautiful, complex mathematical secrets to him while he was dreaming. He felt his knowledge was, well, a gift from the divine.
As Ramanujan grew up, the number of his discoveries just kept growing with him. He filled notebook after notebook, and pretty soon, he felt this deep need to share these incredible ideas with the world beyond his small town.
So how in the world did he make that giant leap? Well, even while living in poverty, he filled 4 precious notebooks with his theorems. Then, in 1913, he took a huge chance. He sent a letter, just packed with these astonishing formulas, all the way to a famous professor in England named G.H. Hardy. Hardy was so completely stunned by what he read that he knew he had to meet the mind behind it all, and he invited Ramanujan to come to Cambridge.
And you have to understand, this wasn't just some casual compliment. Hardy was one of the world's leading mathematicians, and he was looking at formulas he had never seen before, ideas he couldn't have even imagined. He knew, right away, that he was in the presence of a true, raw, unbelievable genius. Now, over in England, a really deep friendship started to form between these two men. And from that friendship comes one of the most famous and, honestly, most charming stories in the entire history of mathematics.
It's a simple question, right? Could a number, any number, really be boring? Well, Professor Hardy kind of thought so. At least until one day that changed everything.
So here's what happened. Ramanujan was sick and resting in a hospital. Hardy came by to visit and, trying to make small talk, he mentioned the number of the taxicab he'd just taken. It was 1729, he said. It seemed like a rather dull number.
At that, Ramanujan's eyes just lit up. He sat up in his bed and replied instantly, "No, Hardy, it is a very interesting number."
And then he explained that 1729 is in fact the smallest number that can be created by adding 2 cubed numbers in 2 different ways. It's 1 cubed plus 12 cubed, and it's also 9 cubed plus 10 cubed. You see, to Ramanujan, no number was dull. Each and every one held its own secret, its own story. His time in England was absolutely brilliant, but it was also tragically short. The legacy he left behind, though, that is truly infinite. His achievements were just groundbreaking. He became the first Indian Fellow of Trinity College, which was a huge honor. His work on something called Mach theta functions is now being used by scientists to help us understand one of the biggest mysteries in the universe, black holes. Decades after his death, a lost notebook was found, just filled with even more of his incredible ideas. And today, India celebrates his birthday as National Mathematics Day.
And he did all this before passing away at only 32 years old. But a mind like his never truly disappears. His ideas, his thoughts of God, they live on, continuing to inspire and challenge mathematicians even today. His story is just this powerful reminder that a short life can cast a very, very long shadow.
So what's the takeaway here? Well, maybe tonight when you look up at the night sky, at that vast infinity of stars, think of the boy from Kumbakonam. Remember his story, and know that the power of your own imagination is just as boundless.
He taught us that there is magic everywhere if you only know how to look for it. You can find it in a number, in a dream, in a friendship. The universe is always whispering its secrets. All we have to do is learn how to listen.